Okay, so today on Mjadala, this is the part where we, have a conversation about things that are affecting us. And there's a story that we're talking about today. A doctor in Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital last week, or rather over the weekend, was supposed to treat a patient who was exhibiting symptoms like corona. But then he didn't have a mask. And so he asked for the N95 mask before he can treat the patient. And consequently, he was suspended, And I'm like, was he justified to ask for this? I want to hear from you, MVPs. Should the doctor have been given the N95 mask? Was he right to say that I will not operate or treat this patient without that mask? And this mask has, the N95 mask is what the World Health Organization has, given as the best mask to use. Hizi za ankara zenye mnatumia sisi nyinyi wa Kenya wacheni ufala. Hizo vitu hazifanyi kitu yote. Pinches.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Habari asubuhi.
Mimi niko fiti kabisa labda.
Mimi niko freshi, nashukuru Mungu mazi.
Hata mimi nashukuru. Sasa hiyo story ya Udoki. Suppose hata ingekuwa ni mimi naona ako right kabisa. Juu unaona si hati hizi pata.
Yeah.
Unaona? Sasa alikuwa na right na alikuwa anataka pia yeye ajiprotect kabisa ndio hadi
Okay.
asipate kale kanini usutaget.
Yeah, nakuget. So wewe unafikiri as in he should have been provided?
Yeah, angeprovidiwa mbona asipatiwe.
Lakini Pinches, unajua we're talking about a situation where there's a shortage of these things across the country. There are hospitals that don't even have them.
But unajua as much as kuna hiyo shortage pia yeye anafaidia life yake unaona?
Yeah.
Juu unaona hii kitu yenye ni noma, unajua hata wewe.
Yeah.
Ni kitu ataenda hapo hivyo dakika 2 ya kuwa infected. So kuliko hivyo na si hata ajifaidia life yake.
Okay. Thank you so much to Pinches there. Have a great day, Pinches. He says that no, the guy should be provided the mask. Mike, what do you say? Good morning.
Morning.
Umesikia ngoma yako? Okay, Mike, we lost Mike there. Silas, good morning.
Mambo.
Fiti sana. Uko poa?
Niko poa kabisa.
Umesikia venye Waluya wamesema? Ndakuchezea tena. But Silas, hii story unaonaje?
Mazo unajua before ufanye kitu yote unajua life yako pia ina matter.
Yeah.
Hawezi risk life yako juu ya kusave mtu mwingine. Kabla usave pia unafaa ujisave pia.
Yeah.
So ako justified mazee. Unajua corona iendelee hata madaktari wanakufa.
So you side with him?
Yes, lazima upate gia mzuri ya kuhandle at least uweze kusaidia watu wengi. Sasa ukisaidia na mmoja na pia wewe kupata usonge utakuwa umesaidia nini?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Silas. Silas there from Hamza just saying, I think everybody who's called so far says the guy should be provided the mask. But then, doctors, when you become a doctor, there's an oath that you take. What does that oath mean? Does it mean even if you are putting your life on the line that the patients come first? 14 minutes past 7 a.m. Here is Collie Buds, Love and Reggae.
Vibes Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
So I just found out what UB40 means. And guys, I'd rather just cook up a story, man. The original meaning is so boring. So I'm just going to come up with an idea. I'm going to cook up a reason as to why they call UB40, and then I'm going to come back and share that with you. That's Just Another Girl, bringing us to 24 minutes past 7 a.m. How are you doing? Corona inakupelekaje kwa nyumba? Mume relax? Munajienjoy? Ama we unaenda kutu kusambaza udaku? Kutafuta what people are talking about. Stay at home, wash your hands, sanitize your mind as well. I think it's important to say that because what we're realizing is, and I think Modoni Drama Queen yesterday mentioned it on Corona Diaries, that we're spending a lot of time on our screens. So mental health issues are also at the very forefront. As we're dealing with Corona, you also have to protect yourself. So I just have to say, sanitize your hands, but also sanitize your minds. You don't need to... Maze unaka kwa nyumba umewatch news yote. Kwani wewe ni unafanya World Health Organization? Ama ni daktari? Are you going to be treating anyone? So what? The numbers are going up. Say unajua ni 50, say ni 59. So zikifika hata utafanya nini? Utahamia Uganda. Relax. Just remember, as long as you have the information that could save your life, that's all that matters, which is sanitize, wash your hands. In fact, I prefer washing my hands than sanitizing, but there's no water everywhere. So when you're on the move, remember to sanitize. Remember to keep your area clean. Kama usikue tu umekaa kwa nyumba tisijatoka hapa sasa ninaosha nyumba ya nini? Can you clean those surfaces? Clean those surfaces. Make sure that there's no dirt, there's no, germs hanging around. That's how we'll stay safe. And remember, social distancing, it's important. Make sure you do. All right, we're talking about healthcare workers at the very forefront of this fight against corona, but they are without masks, without gloves. This is crazy. So there's a doctor in Kisii, teaching and referral hospital, who got suspended because he refused to treat a patient who had symptoms of corona. They look like corona symptoms. He asked for the N95 mask, which wasn't provided to him, and so suspension. Mina kuliza. Was this doctor right? Call me up right now, 0719012700. Keep in mind, yesterday I was watching the news. Uko Mbagathi, where they've worked the isolation beds, there's a doc. This one guy has been treating people since wafunguyo Mbagathi, sindio? Now the guy has corona. So now they're tracking, okay, how many people has this guy been in touch with? They just did an average math. This guy had been in touch with over 1,200 people. One doctor. Now, in a scenario where there's a hosi, unajua dokis ndio at the forefront. Mbona usiwapatie mask wajiprotect? Ama unataka washinde kwa wanasambaza hiki tu. Hebu nipigie simu 0719012700. Was the hospital right to suspend the doctor? Did the doctor have any rights to ask for a mask? Ama unasema there's a hypocritic oath. And that's what a lot of people are saying. But I'm going to just hear what you have to say. Call me up. Gregory.
Hey, hello Kwambox.
Hello, habari asubuhi?
Ai, mzuri sana.
Mimi niko poa, niko fresh. Nyeri kuna baridi ama?
Huku bado kajeva si mingi hivyo.
Okay.
Lakini bado tunaosha mikono na tunazidi kuosha mikono.
Niceness. I like that. So,
kitu moja nilikuwa nataka kuambia iko hivi. Unaona hii ugonjwa. Wewe jifanye unaona kaa kwa barabara venye mtu anaambianga wewe ndo uko fit, wengine ni wazimu. Sasa kwa hii situation nafaa kuteka ati kila mtu ni mgonjwa, wewe ndo uko fit.
Okay.
Unaweza jikingaje kwa wengine? Step inatoka kutoka kwa mwanzo. Na watakia nini time nzuri, siku nzuri.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Thank you so much, Gregory. There's Gregory from Nyeri. Just, reiterating. Remember, you can use this space to share with other MVPs what you're thinking about the disease. But I'm asking you, do you think the doctor was right to ask for gloves? I mean, for the mask before he treats the patient? Now, I'm just going to read to you because there's a guy here, Lawrence, who was like, no, this guy took an oath. And the oath states that you have to you have to treat the patient at whatever the cost. Let's talk about the Hippocratic Oath. What does it say? It says it's an oath taken by physicians, and basically it is to swear by a number of healing gods, and basically to say that you will treat people at whatever the cost. Basically it says, I swear to fulfill, to be the best of my ability and judgment, this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as mine with those who are to follow. That doesn't say anything about putting your life on the line. I'm just saying. Call me up, 0719012700. If you are the doctor, would you have treated this patient knowing that you're putting your own life on the line?
Vibes Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
But shout out to Silas Umtiti. Of course, we're talking about on Mjadala today is a doctor who was suspended because the guy alikuwa anataka mask ya N95 ndio treat patient. Huyu patient alikuwa anaonekana nika akona hizo symptoms za corona. Corona ile yenye unaona everywhere in the world watu wanaiogopa. Basi doka kauliza hii N95 akaambiwa cheki utatreat patient ama ujikate. Doka alijikata. So mimi nauliza, was he justified to ask for this mask? Ama tutu natumase. Me, I don't understand it. It's like Do you send KDF, or if we're at war with the country, do you send them to that country? That time the country is coming with artillery, they've got guns, they've got, choppers, they've got, it just sounds like it's hectic. Alafu umetuma KDF hapa na spears. That's what it sounds like to me. But anyway, I'd like to hear what you have to say. Silas says, yes, Kwambox, you can't risk your life. Kwanza ile COVID-19 inapita na kila mtu. Wakubwa kwa wadogo. For example, in Uganda, kids have contracted it. So, hata kama ni oath, huwezi enda na vita na mawe when the enemy is well equipped with armory. I agree with you totally. Call me up 0719012700. Do you think the doctor is justified?
Vibes Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
How you doing? What's good? Uko poa? I hope pali unajinais, yani amko tu ma stories za corona zenye hazi make sense, eh? Let us save ourselves. Remember, I've said, as you sanitize your hands, also sanitize your mind. Always ask yourself, how much information, yani, what is my state of mind right now? Am I on panic? Mtutu akisema corona ninashtuka? Ama I'm informed? Because when you're informed, you don't perish. You know what they say? My people lack, my people die because of lack of information. This is Kwambox. The show is Morning Vibes. Niko nawe mpaka saa 4 asubuhi. And this particular hour, we call this Mjadala. We're talking about, things that affect us. And the story for today, we're talking about healthcare workers in the front line of corona, but with no equipment. This comes after a doctor in Kisii Teaching and Referral Hospital was suspended because he refused to attend to a patient who actually exhibited symptoms of corona. Whether the patient had it or not is besides the point. But was he justified to ask for that N95 mask? And when he didn't get it, when he stood his ground and said, look, hata nifadhali univute kazi, na akapigwa suspension, was the hospital right to do this? Call me up right now, 0719012700, or you can share your thoughts on the hashtag VibesMVP. Laurette, what's good? Anasema, the doctor was justified to ask for the mask and decline treating the patient. Unlike disciplined forces, the country comes first, and it's clearly spelled out. He shouldn't be terminated for wanting to protect himself. This is not malaria or the common cold that disappears. Okay. Cruz Mpendamani.
Morning.
Morning. Habari asubuhi.
Iko fit.
Hata mimi niko poa kabisa. So wasemaje, this doctor?
Nasema hiyo si kufanya fiti. Juu na cheki hadi ile rule ya first aid yenyewe. Inasemanga wewe kwanza ndio ukufanya mse first aid, make sure uko safe wewe mwenyewe.
Exactly.
So huyo doki alikuwa anafaa pia ya kwanza akuwe safe ndio aweze kutreat huyo mse mwingine. Imagine. Kufanya fiti yao.
Okay. Asante sana Cruz. Have a great day. Cruz there from Likoni, just sharing his thoughts. Remember, you can also call in and share your thoughts. But I also want to speak to the Kenya Medical Association Secretary General, Dr. Kingondu, to just shed a light. Because tunaweza piga stories zetu hapa, lakini we don't know. Maybe doctors are okay with this. So let's hear what Dr. Kingondu has to say. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Us guys are great. Just trying to be safe, sanitizing our hands and our minds.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, Dr. Simon Kingondi, thank you so much for taking time so we can speak about this particular case of the doctor in Kisii. So, we're talking with the MVPs, our listeners, and everybody seems to think that the hospital was wrong to suspend this guy.
Yes.
Was the hospital wrong? What is the stand of you guys?
So, first of all, I think I like media. They run sensational stories. So the first time we came across this story, we actually contacted the hospital administration, and because both the doctors and the hospital administration are members of Kenya Medical Association,
yes,
we wanted to know what the actual situation was. And this is neither a right nor a wrong thing. So the hospital administration thought that the treatment of the patient needed an explanation. And when that happens, then it's procedural for a hospital to write to maybe one of its workers, not necessarily a doctor, but anyone who they think will require to give them an explanation. So if you look at the letter, the letter says that come there is what is called a disciplinary committee that is set up. So you come and listen to the proceedings, so to speak. So there is a complaint by a member of the public, and the hospital has taken action. Is asking the doctor to come and explain, and we haven't even gotten the end of it all.
Yeah.
And if I ask you, Kwambox, are you sure the doctor was suspended?
Yes.
And show us the suspension letter. You would. So when we found out, then the administration said, it's just procedural for a complaint to be addressed like that. So my point is that we need to sort of get what the facts are first. Before crucifying hospital administration. But on the other hand,
but I mean, this guy, you want to tell me, okay, even aside from the sensationalization of the story, this guy, the facts are, he was at the forefront. Someone is exhibiting symptoms and there are no masks. How does a hospital not have masks?
You see, and that's where I was coming to as my second point. My second point is that it's not even in the era of COVID-19. Generally, health workers must have some form of personal protective equipment. And therefore, it is upon hospital administration and, in fact, the government to ensure that health workers are adequately protected. And the steps of doing this are as follows. We must define which type of personal protective equipment is required for which location. For instance, you must clearly define that if you are seeing a patient in outpatient, you must wear these masks or gloves or whatever personal protection equipment, and this must be defined and put in what is called a standard operating procedure. So what we need to find out is whether that particular hospital has a standard operating procedure for seeing such a patient. And if it has, then was it followed for that particular incident? And then you say yes. So it is very key currently, as it were, for frontline health workers to have personal protective equipment. And we want to ensure that all hospitals, all governments have procured it. There's a big issue coming up in that a lot of our personal protective equipment is imported. And because everyone else who does manufacturing of the same is actually using them in their own country, then you even had the story of a country that re-imported. You get?
Yes.
We haven't even reached the ventilator. We want to avoid reaching the ventilator part because now that one we are very ill equipped. So one of the ways of avoiding that is to ensure that adequate personal protective equipment is given to frontline health workers. The story of other countries where health workers have gotten infected is actually as a result of inadequate personal protective equipment. So if we separate the incident per se, which can be looked at in different ways, it is imperative for hospital administration and government to supply personal protective equipment. And in view of our history, you see, we have previously probably not invested adequately in local manufacture. Then we need to start being innovative and actually activate factories in this country to actually start producing those personal protective equipment. And just to clarify, there are 3 levels of personal protective equipment. The highest level is the one people usually see. You see a guy who looks like he's in a spacesuit. That is the highest form of PPE, and that is taken when the risk is considered very high. For instance, in this COVID-19 situation, the person who is taking the specimen from someone who is suspected to have COVID-19 must don on that suit just to protect themselves from actually acquiring the infection themselves. Then there are level 2 where you have masks which have names like N95. Those are tight-fitting masks around the face, which also have a valve, which are meant to protect someone from aerosolized, meaning that this thing you've been hearing about having fluid coming from the mouth and nose, that N95 protects the health worker from acquiring that infection. And then there's the normal masks, which are called surgical masks, which are worn. For instance, you've seen when we are doing operations, then that protects people from getting splashes and also protects the person from when they cough or sneeze, the material from spreading. So those levels must be adhered. So as we are going on with this discussion of personal protective equipment, we must clearly define what is this personal protective equipment to avoid people thinking that everyone should be in those masks. And which particular type is required for which particular situation, so that we do not generalize and also make the situation look as if it's small. And so but of importance, personal protective equipment must be provided to especially healthcare workers, because they are in contact directly. My advice, though, also is that I personally think, although that's a personal view, that everyone should make their own sort of form of mask, so that they keep their droplets to themselves.
But I gotta cut you short there, Dr. Kingondu. The World Health Organization, of course, is telling people that people should avoid wearing masks because there's a shortage, and it should be the people at the front line who are wearing the masks. And then brings in the story of the Ankara masks that a lot of Kenyans are currently selling online. Will those protect us?
I suspect, I'm not too sure, I suspect what the World Health Organization is trying to prevent is trying to prevent everyone from using the surgical N95 and mask. Yes, because if everyone now starts donning them and there's a short supply of them, then the people who require, according to the levels that I've explained to you, require them, then they get finished, then it will become a worse situation. Personally, if everyone wears a mask, whatever it is around, then you keep your droplets to yourself. Then when you come to the healthcare situation, then you have now the specific mask that prevent infection. You see? So I suspect the WHO is, because there are also others who have advocated that they have flattened their curve by having everyone wear masks. For instance, the Japanese culture where wearing masks is almost a norm. Then their curve was not as steep as everyone else. So this can be attributed to both the hygienic practices and the fact that people generally keep the droplets to themselves. So it may what we may need to specify is that the mask that you wear around may not prevent you from getting the virus. You get the point. But it prevents the droplets from coming out from the person who has the virus or who doesn't have and entering someone else. So generally, if we all agree that let's cover up, and that's the reason for social distance. The reason for social distance, they put it at 1 meter, and now they've even increased it to 1.5 meters, is that when you sneeze or cough, the droplets move to about 1 meter. You see, the aim is to prevent droplets from moving from person to person. So if someone does not, if you, for instance, have a mask, whatever it is, then you sneeze, then the droplets don't even move. They stay with you. But the precaution is that we need to keep washing the mask after use. You see, after the day. But you see, if everyone keeps for me, it's very simple. Things are very simple. We're put simply that way. If we can all stop droplets from moving around, then we will have flattened the curve.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Simon Kingondu. Of course, he is the Secretary General of Kenya Medical Association. We will be reaching out to you sometime, to find out what else we need to know. But thank you so much for taking your time to share with us that information.
You're welcome, Kwambox. Endelea kusomesha wa Kenya.
Asante sana.
Vibes Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.
Patrick Rankin with Heal the World. And that's how we're ending the hour. A big shout out to everybody who was a part of Mjadala. Of course, we're talking about healthcare workers at the front of the fight against corona. But some don't even have a medical, equipment to protect them from this disease. And I just want to say, as we end this, thank you so much to Dr. Kingondu, who's, shed a light on, masks, what we need to know, how we need to keep our healthcare workers protected. It goes without saying, our healthcare workers need to be protected. They are at the front line. And the thing is, our laliko hospitali, in the home, they go back home to be with their families. So they also have a community that they're interacting with, okay? 30% of infections are among healthcare workers. And up to 10% of healthcare workers are dying. In this country, if it gets to that point, 30% of us will of the deaths will be doctors. That means that 0.3% will probably get sick. This is stats from Dr. Bosire, who was talking about the situation, about risking infecting the public and, just letting the doctors be the way they are. We need to protect our healthcare workers. They are soldiers at the front line, just like we need to equip soldiers with artillery, provide conducive environment so they can help treat the sick and protect us from this evil disease, coronavirus. That has been Mjadala.
Vibes Radio, we rule the nation in this generation.